Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. By popular demand, actually literally not, nobody's asked for this, but I'm gonna count up what is in my jar. So there we go. So what we do is we find all the change for the month, we pop it in a jar, and then it's not really the end of the month, it's sort of the week before the end of the month when I get paid. We count it all up and round it up to the nearest 10 and make an overpayment off our mortgage with whatever is left over. So this is money obviously that we don't really count on. Once you kind of chip into a note, you know, for me, it's kind of gone by that point. Unless obviously you're paying for parking or situations like that, you don't tend to use a lot of coins in the UK anymore. So yeah, what we do is if we don't end up sort of spending it, it just gets thrown into a jar. I could get a nice little money box. In fact, I've got a money box, but it's such a hassle to get the coins out, I don't use it. So we just use a little jam jar, and yeah, it just builds up quite nicely. We usually end up with about £30 to £50, sort of somewhere in between that mark, each month. And yeah, it makes a nice little additional payment. So I've kind of looked out, I managed to remortgage my property when the interest rates were still quite low, and I got a fixed term interest rate for 5 years, and it's not that much, not as much as what it would be now, because the interest rates have gone crazy. So that £50 just extra really helps chip into the interest that's added on each month. So we found that this is really good. And then obviously when we make our normal mortgage payment, more of that then is actually being paid off the mortgage. So we're just chipping away at it a lot quicker. And like I said, once we've sort of dipped into a note, like all these pennies, I mean, I'm not really going to do anything with them. I've seen some really good penny challenges and people putting their change towards them. Maybe I could do something like that, but at the minute I just throw it in a jar and whatever's in there at the end of the month is what's in there. It's one of them. I could make it more special, more fancy, but at the minute this is working for me. So what we did is last month in July, I ended up taking some change out of this, which I don't normally do, but we were pretty much going to a hospital every day for about a week, and the car parking in hospitals in the UK is just ridiculous. It's at least £5 for 2 hours. So I did end up taking some change out of that just to cover it, because the car parking didn't take contactless or card, so there wasn't as much in here at the end of July than there should have been. So now that we're coming up towards the end of August, the week that I'm paid, I thought we'll save this up for the 2 months, because we're away for 2 weeks of August. It just makes sense to do it. So yeah, rather than doing 2 little payments of say maybe £20, we'll do just one big payment of hopefully around 40-50, because that would be quite good. I'm just getting ready. I'll start counting in a minute. I'm just sorting through what we've actually got here. Oh, But yeah, I find it's like a fun little way of doing it, and like I said, it just sort of chips away and you don't notice it building up, which is really nice sort of at the end of the month. So when we bought our property, it was about 5 years ago, yeah, because I've just remortgaged, so well, not long, six years ago, we made this kind of point of, so I'll start again. When we first bought, our mortgage was basically half of what we were paying in rent previously. So we decided to kind of keep that going initially. So rather than just be like, oh yeah, like we've got, you know, excess money at the end of the month, we were going to make that as an overpayment to hopefully pay the mortgage off quicker. We were already used to paying that amount anyway, so it wasn't as if we were having to find like the extra from anywhere. We were already used to making that payment, and I think that has been really, really good for us. There is a calculator which I'll try and link to, I'll try and remember to link to, and you can kind of calculate, if you make certain regular overpayments every month, how much quicker your mortgage will end up being paid off by. You do need to look into your terms of your mortgage, because sometimes there can be penalties for making too much of an overpayment, so you have to look into like your individual mortgage. And I am not like a mortgage advisor or any sort of financial advisor. This is all just research that I've done for myself. I think if we carry on the way that we are, we'll end up paying our mortgage off within the next 5 years. And considering we've only been in this property for 6 years, another 5 years, paying a mortgage off in 11 years is pretty good. I don't know, we're not in a bad position, is what I'm saying. Anyway, let's start counting up. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You might prefer me to count it all in its own denominations, but I like to do it in tens, because then if I ever lose count, I can literally be like, that's 30. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 48, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 81. 48, 81. So yeah, like I said, close to 50. 48, 81. Very, very close to 50. So we'll make that up to probably, I don't know, £60. We'll put in a little bit extra, and that will go off our mortgage as an overpayment, and that will go about halfway towards what we end up paying in interest. So it just means that our mortgage payment ends up going a bit further and going off the actual bulk of the mortgage, rather than just meeting that interest or just paying that interest. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, and you need to do your own research on your own mortgage, on your own mortgage terms, because you can get fees for doing that and you end up paying more. With my particular mortgage, we can pay up to 3 times the amount of the mortgage payment each month without incurring a fee. So like whatever our mortgage payment is, we can pay that and 3 times that each month, or we can make a lump sum which is equal to the value of 10% of the overall mortgage that remains outstanding. So each year you get a mortgage statement of what is left on your mortgage. So 10% of that figure we can pay off within that year as a lump sum. So we could do both if we are able to, or we could just do the one. What we aim to do is pay an additional payment of £500 off the mortgage plus whatever's in this jar. So I think for August we'll be paying about £560 off extra than what our mortgage is. And if you think of that in terms of interest, the interest is going to come down over time anyway because it's on of the total value of the mortgage, and that's how come you end up paying it off so much quicker. I will try and find that link so you can put in your circumstances and then play around with the figure and see how quickly you can end up paying off your mortgage. It is definitely worth doing in my opinion. But again, like I said, not a financial advisor. Do your own research. Every mortgage probably has different terms. This is just based on my mortgage terms, and what we choose to do with our sort of leftover additional money at the end of the month. And yeah, this is money that we don't miss. It's just change. So it doesn't really factor into our budget at all. I could potentially do some challenges. I've seen some really, really good ones. Iris Budgets does like the penny challenges and the 50p's, and she puts her pound coins to a budget with Ira challenge, which looks amazing. Maybe I should do that as well. It'd be really fun. At the minute, like I said, we just throw it all in our trusty jam jar. Well, bit different. Hopefully it wasn't too boring for you, and look after yourselves, and until next time, I'll see you next time. Bye.